Hello! Here with another replay review. Today we're doing Gold 1 player Blamed Teuton? I tried my best. Who's playing against a Mongol player. We're going to see what happened in this loss. As always with these replay reviews, the goal is to figure out what he did well, what he could have done better, and stamp at the end 2 or 3 big things to walk out of this. Really excited because I think I've done an Abbasid one yet. And I definitely haven't done it against the Mongols, I think. I don't know, I've done a few now. Before I jump in, just a reminder, if you're interested in your own replay review, message me on Discord, information's in there. I do direct paid one-on-one coaching, which I've had some really positive reviews about, so if you're interested in doing something like that, message me as well, and of course, follow me on Twitch. But besides that, let's get into this replay review and see how we can get better. So first, small thing, build a house with 1 villager. Doing 6 villagers on a house, it's small, right? But small things add up. This is a waste of time. So just have 1 villager build the house, have the rest build the mill, and start gathering berries. And you should go ahead and get 7 on food first before you go to gold. Just evens out the age up a little bit. Scouting pattern is good. You can, since you're on berries from the jump, you can be a little bit more aggressive to like go all the way down, circle back. As always, your goal should be to be checking what your opponent is doing on age up. But you're in a little bit unique situation. You're playing against a Mongol player. Mongols are one of the few civs that will actually try to pressure you in feudal. He is going to want to get on your gold mine with a tower, or he could even tower this berries here if he wants. So it's actually really helpful to preview and try to catch when he's coming up so you can know what he's trying to do. So finding out really quickly, is this going to be a tower play for him or not? So you see the Uvu, go check the Uvu, very nice. You don't see a barracks yet. You see him fully on food, no wood at all. So that should tell you he's actually not pressuring. He's going to go straight into the field. You need to drop your House of Wisdom. Now, of course, he could still do some pressure, but this would be really late by him. Now let's pause and think, what would be good for you? Let's listen to what's the strength of your civ, or what's the strength of his civ, and how are you going to combat that? Your Abbasid is usually played boom style. Now, of course, you could play it more feudal pressure if you want, but generally going 2 or 3 TC is your goal here. And then either fighting that out in feudal if he wants to stay in feudal, or going castle, and then really using your unique advantages. Your camel riders and your camel archers are really good. Your camel riders especially are really good against a civ that wants to do cavalry in the Mongols, as well as your archers are really good with these composite bows. The Abbasids are a really great civ right now. They have a lot of different options. So I'm interested to see what you decide to do. You should have a plan in mind. The goal whenever we go into a game is, what is the thing I want to try to do based on the map, based on the opponent, and then reacting to what your opponent does to your plan. You notice what I mean here when I said you should have done 7 to 8 on food before you went gold. You got gold super early. Now that might have been because you were afraid of the tower, but even if they get the tower down, you should be able to get the gold in time. So next time do like 7 or 8 on food before going gold, so that you're not waiting on the age up here. You can't rush your age up. It's going to be the same amount of time. So you needed more on food, so you're not getting gold and then sitting here waiting on an age up. So age up with the military wing, and that's interesting. Usually we age up with the military wing if we're afraid, if you're getting either directly pressured or you want to pressure your opponent. You could pressure your opponent. You could go kill his Uvu. You could go pressure his gold. But this is kind of an interesting situation because right now you're not facing any pressure. So we'll see what you do with it. Let me tell you, the 2 spears, 2 archers can do a lot of damage if worked correctly. Alright, so you go out to the stone and you drop an immediate barracks. Here's the thing. If you've gone military school, you actually don't need to go barracks yet. And in fact, the military school should allow you to just basically naked second TC without fear. He cannot get enough units to stop your second TC if you went for it immediately, i.e., you should have only had 4 on food. You should have already been gathering stone. Basically, the second you started aging up, you should have been on stone. And you should be basically ready to drop your second TC in about 6 minutes. So the one thing I would change is, if you want to go military school for that safety, if you know you're going to do that, macro your villagers, get off gold, only have 4 on food, get on stone as soon as you have the wood to, and then you're just flipping back and forth between even amounts on wood and stone until you're dropping that second TC. This is going to delay your second TC, which you don't want to delay it any longer than shit. Like, you basically have the resources soon to get that second TC, just no stone. Generally, it's a good idea. If you want to go second TC, do it as fast as possible. And the military school allows you to do that without fear. Boom. Key thing you find, he's going Silver Tree. So he's going to be delayed. He actually won't be able to come at you yet, and his response is a good one. For civs that boom, Abbasid, China, it's actually a really good move by the Mongol player to go trade, because he can trust that you're going to take some time. Now, he does mess up and send his Silver Tree towards the market. He actually needs his Silver Tree down here. So that actually buys you a little bit more time, but you should know his aggression's not going to be there yet. You also need to know that you need to be getting at him the second you get that second T-step. You need to go stop his trade. You can't let his trade start building. I don't know what this wall here is for. Once again, you shouldn't be afraid of pressure. He's not doing it. This wall's, I guess, fine, but this is a waste of wood. This is what they're going to be using something else. Use your scout to see what is he doing. Check this Uvu. He's always, if you know where the Uvu is, you know where his production is going to be. If he doesn't have any pressure, no need to build walls. If you're scouting well and you see him drop something and you're not ready to defend it, then you put up some defenses. Okay, you see archery range only. He's going Magudai. And here's the thing. I can see that on my replay, right? But you're about to see them pop, 1. 2, if you didn't see them pop yet, you can assume that if he put down just an archery range, he's probably going Magudai, which you need to go archers in. This is your telltale sign that I need archers right now. You also see him going to the hunt. So you know, just getting him off the hunt, attacking his Uvu, disrupting his trade is going to be the big goal right here. So look what's happened here. You have this. You have the stone to get a second TC, but not the wood. You are putting up production buildings and building units in response to something you don't even need to respond to yet. At this point, if you had macro correctly, you would be in a second TC starting to drop these archery ranges. And then you'll be good to go. All you need right now is a match of archers, and you're fine. If you're afraid of him raiding you, put up a tower. Really, Magudai can't do much since you're ready for them. At this point, I actually want to pause and state that. Like, the way this should have gone is, I don't see any pressure. I've scouted. I don't see he's pressuring me in the Dark Age. I do my normal second TC, which is I rush that second TC. I'm not building units. I'm going military wing, so I have my defense just in case. I'm going second TC as fast as possible. The economic bonus is that the second TC pay off more the earlier we do it. So get that up and then respond to him. You have time. Now you're just going to delay your second TC way too long. Instead of small thing, instead of building the lumber camp here, build it here, just so all your villagers are paying off from their close drop off. So at this point, you actually have enough units. You know he's popped 2 Magudai. He's probably maybe popped 2 more at this point. You should just be walking up with these units. Aggressiveness is a big thing in early, in like gold elo, plat elo, even diamond elo. So we are not aggressive enough when we should be. You have more units than him. You've actually been scouting very well. You've been keeping your scout around his base. You know what he has. You know what he's doing. You actually have a lot of information. So react with that information and trust yourself. Go aggressive. You want to get the spearman upgrades, of course, but you need more archers and just go. And rally your units forward while you're doing that. You already have your key spots. You have his wood line right here. You could circle around and destroy his Uvu in production and then get him off the hunt. You have a clear path of what you need to do. Be aggressive. And this also will teach you something. I've recently started encouraging people to be overly aggressive. Because if you lose, you can go back and say, where was I too aggressive? But being decisive and aggressive will almost always pay off more than it doesn't. Trust in the information you gather here. But instead, you're doing more walling. Don't do this. A few Magudai aren't going to kill you. If for some reason you march forward and his Magudai come here, then you know, 1, he has nothing defending his base. And 2, just garrison your units and get out 3 more archers. But if you're not going to go second TC, this is really bad. You have 400 resources you're just not going to use. And you have 7 on gold, which is also confusing. You don't need gold right now. So actually, let's talk about the thought process here. I know I've done a lot of pausing, but this is all really good stuff. How do I know what to put my villagers on? Well, what is your goal? Your macro, or what you want to build your economy towards, is based on your goal. If your goal is to, I want to fight him in feudal to stop his trade, sweet. What do you need? Well, I know he has Magadai, and that's really it right now. Okay, you can get a lot of archers. And spearmen in case he goes Keshiks, which you've done. What do I need for those two things? I need wood and food and bone, and basically equal amounts, because they kind of offset each other. You don't really need gold right now, unless you want to go castle. The only reason you should get gold is for upgrades, and all you really need is 3 or 4 on gold. You might be trying to rush the upgrades, but that's really unnecessary. Get down to barracks and just get the upgrades as you get the gold. Focus more on making units. That's more important. So he walks up here, and what has happened is you sent your archers separated from your spears. Because here's the thing, spears are going to be useless against Magadai by themselves. You're getting these spears just in case he gets Keshiks. But right now, all the information is told you is that he's going pure Magadai. So you should be going pure archers, and your archers need to walk in a group with your scout. So now his goal is actually pretty clear. You've actually walled yourself out from food. You only have the sheep left. Since you didn't drop a second TC, you don't have a TC defending another wood supply. And all your wood is outside your base. And his goal is not pretty clear. He's going to try to scare you with Magadai and keep you in your base. What you need to do is, just for safety, if you see this thing happen, crossbox all of your villagers and hit G to auto-garrison them. Just to try to save a few villagers, and the second you have the fight under control, click on your town center and press C to send them all back. This is good. You kill all his Magadai. That's it. That's literally his force. At this point, you walk in on him. Now, you have lost what's happening because of your scouting. But that Magadai was probably just to slow you down. So now he's either going to rush castle or he is going to need to defend his trade. So you see him running back. No, be aggressive. Be aggressive. What are we doing? So now you're getting your second DC and you want to protect it. You have. His units are down here. Just keep pressuring him. Because right now, he's free to run around your base. The second you run to his base, he has to defend that. You don't have to send all your units. Send like 3 spears and 3 archers to this corner and start walking along the back, and you force him to follow you. Awesome catch. Follow him. Follow him. Pressure him. You want your steel arrow upgrade. You want your iron outer mesh upgrade, because all he's doing right now is Magadai. Good catch. Right now, you need to be checking. I would send your scout, do like a shift command, and just shift check, 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 and just run your scout circles, basically, just to see what's going on. Okay, you killed his threat. Get in there. Get in there right now. This is your chance. This is literally your opportunity, because you know he's building up his trade right now. Sorry, I need to check something. Okay. Let's actually see what he's doing, because we haven't seen the scouting in a while. He is on food. He has got traders going. Each trader is getting 6 gold and 6 food. He's hard going into gold, and he switched to Keshiks and archers. Luckily, you're ready for this. Now, if he goes heavy into archers, you'll want to switch to horsemen. But right now, your comp's ready to go. If you walk in on him right now, you can stop his trade, clear him out of the hunt, and start working down his production and force him to move. If you do that, then you can boom behind that. What's going to kill you is if you give him time. Get off stone. You don't have time to go another TC. When you see a threat such as trade, you gotta go now. I love this little move down here. This is awesome. This is great. But you are out of time. You have to get on the trade right now before this gets out of control. Send these guys over to berries, because look, let's check your macro. You have so much gold. You can't use this gold anymore. You can get all your upgrades, so you can't use it anymore. We'll get your boot camp upgrade, of course. You need production. And as you notice his changes, and as you get more villagers, you need to drop more production. And always make sure you're making villagers. 39 villagers, how many does he have? 43 villagers. So this tells me, one, he did kill a few of your villagers, but you're not making villagers. So make sure you're always making villagers. This leads to what I call the cycle. The cycle is what you're doing continuously as you get into the game. My cycle is villagers, eco, units, scouting. And that's the kind of the mantra in my head. Villagers, am I making villagers? I hotkey my TC. Am I making villagers? 2, eco. Is my eco balanced? Nope. What's my goal? Feudal. I need to drop some production, and I need to start rallying to food because I need more food. And I have too much gold. I could drop a market, use that gold onto food. Units. Am I making units? No. Be making units. You make units until you decide you want to go castle. Scouting. Have I checked to see if I can get any new information? Not really. Since you didn't send spears with these, though, they're going to die instantly. Nope. No, walk. There you go. Walk them up. You got to go in with this force. He's not going to kill this TC. He's not. One, you got to build villagers with this TC, and two, you got to go in. This sucks, too. You should have got your fresh food stuffs earlier. That's a huge advantage for you that you've been missing out on. And this is huge information. The second you see this, you should go, I need spears right now. Use your information. Just rally spears here to protect your base. And this group needs to run in right now. You're giving him way too much space. Got the spearman upgrade. You should also switch to horsemen. You don't know that yet because you haven't seen his archers, but when you do, you want to do that. This wall is unnecessary right now. Your biggest defense is going to be being offensive. You right now cannot produce fast enough based on your resources. So you need more production and just mass units. You should be able to outmass him right now. If you want to protect units, drop a tower per 5 units. So you're sending over like 10 right now. You should drop 2 towers. Boom. That's all you really need to do. Make your units offensive and force him to fight you in his base. Good information here. I would just jump them. You're playing too defensively. You can't play defensively against trade. That's what he wants you to do. You're playing into his game plan right now. This is a really early farm transition. You still have these berries here. You're still finishing up these berries. You still have this hunt. That is a waste of wood. That could be production buildings. That could be archers. That could be any units really. You should be going farms either once you hit castle. And my suggestion is you go Eco Wing, which then allows you to get cheap farms from Fertile Crescent, and then you build farms. Or you notice you're basically on your last 2 pocket resources, then you go farms. But look what's happened. I want to make an emphasis of this. The only reason he has a military this big is because you sat back and let him get that military. He's been basing on 2C this whole time, because consider the Silver Tree is like a second TC. All it does is make traders, but it's a second TC. He's been on 2 TC and just pumping traders, and you haven't stopped him. You just got your second TC down, and now you're getting villagers. But he's going to out-eco you because you're letting him. So now he can get a bunch of Keshiks. He can put all his villagers on wood and get archers. And he's going to be able to outmass you. And he hasn't been able to do that since right now. If you had been pressuring him from the start with your unit mass, he wouldn't be able to do that. He had to boom for free. Now you see this, and this should tell you, I need horsemen right now. I need 10 to 15 horsemen right now. Because guess what he did? He saw your unit comp, and he switched effectively. He got off Magadai. He went archers for your spearmen. He went Keshiks for your archers. And you never saw that, and you never counter-comped that. He's being weak sauce here. He should have just gotten it on you. A better Mongol player would have split his forces and started running around here. Get that camel up. That's great. This camel is really, really important. Don't rally across the map like this. I mean, you can, but he's massing right now. At this point, you need to attack his trade. Your best way to do that is to send a detachment of spearmen to just try to mass kill traders. Or you get horsemen and run horsemen down there. But right now, actually, your best move might be just go to a castle. Like drop a market and buy your way into castle. Because now you kind of need castle units to catch back up here. But really, you need to raise his eco. Because right now his eco, no matter what you do, his eco is going to be better than yours from here on out. Unless you do something. Okay, you go castle. Your culture wing. I would have done eco wing. When you saw that mass, you should have known I'm kind of behind economically. You've left his trade there for so long. You need eco wing just to get more food. Because that's what's going to run out quickly here soon. Repair the wall. You notice why he's not attacking? He's not attacking because he knows he doesn't need to. He's ahead. He just needs to outboom you. Oh, there he goes. Wow. Once again, something that happens oftentimes when we feel like we're off our game, and sometimes something we do when we feel like we're off our game, we don't know what's happening, we stop scouting, which puts us in a really bad position. You need to be still checking so you know what's about to happen. Second, you didn't respond to his comp. Now he has way too many archers. Third, look at your eco. We went too heavy on food, but not enough on wood, and now we can't afford units. Now your goal is to, you just hit castle, you need to pump castle units. My suggestion is Ghulams, just like basically your options either Ghulam archers, and you get the archer upgrade, makes your archers very, very good. Or, well, actually, you really need to master units and get a Maganel. You need to build a Maganel. That's the only way you're backing this off. This mass is too big. This is like the end here. This was really silly back then, but he just has too many Keshiks. We don't have enough units. Looks like his eco. Resources per minute. More food, more gold. Yeah. That is tough. He has 14 traders. And his villagers have never been touched. And he's making a curl attack. That's basically good news. Really, the only way to salvage this, you need a market to sell this food. You need a bunch of spearmen and Ghulams, and then you need to go mass. You need like 3 or 4 Maganels behind that. The front line to hold the Keshiks, the Maganels to kill the archers. And you might be able to rush it up if you had macroed into that hole. But when this Kurokai hits, it's up. Mr. Ika, you're down at TC. That's what news goes. Alright. So what do we get from that? Big takeaways. You actually played the early game. Not actually, this isn't a surprise. You played the early game really well. And this is actually common. Usually in lower tiers. We know what we want to do early on when nothing's bothering us. But when it gets to the reactions and what we need to do in response to our opponents, that's where things start to fall apart. In this case, you didn't use your advantages well enough. And then when you did actually gain an advantage, you didn't follow up on it. So what do I mean by that? Your advantages is getting a quick second TC. Why can you get that second TC? Because when you age up, you don't have to put 8 villagers on your age up, which allows you to then get to stone earlier, which allows you to get a TC earlier. And you also have the military wing, which allows you to get early units to defend putting up a TC, so you don't need to put down a barracks or any other production building. Use your advantages. When you notice he's not rushing you, you do military wing, you don't put down any production, you get that second TC up, and then you start setting up production. As soon as possible. And at least the second. Even when you did, you had early scouting, so you knew he was doing Magadai. You were able to then get archers out and kill his initial push. You know what he's doing too. You know he's going trade. And you know his goal of that trade is to keep pressuring you so that you don't go onto his trade. The Mongol trade is strong, but also in a way flimsy. He can't put up walls. The most he can do is put up towers. So it's really easy to stop if you just get onto him. One of the easiest ways to stop aggression is to be aggressive yourself, because he needs to get you out of his trade. My suggestion is you should have taken that mass and moved it into... You also knew where he was trying to get food. Move it into the trade area, cut off his food, cut off his trade, attack his Uvu, but keep rallying units to your base to cover you. And basically every time you get a group of like 8 to 10, move them back down with your army, and then rally a new group to defend your base. If you had done that, I think that game was in the bag for you. Because instead what you did is that since you weren't aggressive, you were afraid, you sat back in your base. Even though you had the information, you let him boom to the point that he couldn't be stopped. So to summarize that really clearly, use your advantages of your Civ. Be aggressive when you see an opening, and use your information to your advantage. Scouting gives you information, but you have to follow up on it. He's switching to archers. I need horsemen. He just got a couple Magadai out. I'm pushing that. He's going trade. I got to get on that trade. Use the information you're gathering and respond to it and follow through on it. And as always, when a game doesn't work out, go back and I try to identify what points did I not respond to the information given to me. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or feedback, let me know. And good luck on your next games.